Hooray. So, when I was fussy cutting, I have little
Yeah, and
pictures of tuna.
it's still thinking about becoming live.
That's okay. It can think about it while I'm showing you my little tuna can I had to draw on this
Hey.
piece of paper. So, when I was fussy cutting, there you go.
That's how you did it to make it line up.
Yeah. Yeah, I have my little white box or whatever. So I have this little tuna can on here, but I did it in Frixon so I can iron it off and use the paper later.
Use it later.
Like
Ooh, the
there's half
hiccup.
a can.
All right, so I see the folks in the waiting room, but Chantel and I decided we're gonna actually have like a show today. So
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna cut
try.
you in just a minute. Um, Hello. I'm gonna say your name wrong every single time. How did we say your name? Melina? Melina. I don't know.
I don't know.
But we decided that Chantel and I are not sewing tonight. We're cleaning
Which
because
was funny because we both just kind of, you're like, I don't think I have it. I'm sewing. I'm like, I'm out of here.
it's
This
just
is
so
happening.
bad. I literally have my phone over here time lapsing the situation because it's so bad. Like I have a year's worth of project mess around me from doing the book, and it's
It
like the
looks cool.
I can't do anything anymore. I just can't. I cannot function in the space. I literally like this is all I have to like walk. Like I can't do it
Your
anymore.
view from here looks good. I can't wait to see the time lapse though, because
It's
that's a
really
very
bad.
different angle.
I also took like close-ups of the really bad areas. So it's gonna be like a whole situation. Like there'll be a video. But while we were talking and getting ready, I at
Ooh,
least managed to get the Halloween all together. And Chantel and I are going to be seeing each other in real life. So apparently there's going to be shared custody of the coffin hexies
yes.
or something.
I had
But
no idea, but we're gonna
yeah,
figure it all out.
we will.
And
But for right now, here's my Halloween stash that I have
great.
accumulated just this year because I gave Chantel all my Halloween
She did.
literally like what, 3 months ago?
Yeah, I
I
actually it's
managed
in a
to get
huge
this far.
pile
Oh my
over
God.
here. Like a Mount Washmore type pile.
It's like a lot.
I need to just put laundry baskets around here. I'd feel more comfortable seeing everything in laundry baskets because that's how I see it around my house.
It's really it's really bad. It's really horrible right now. And then I have a little bit of Christmas too. I don't know.
Actually, I was thinking about Christmas like a lot. I'm starting to think, oh my gosh, Halloween's going to be over. And then all of a sudden it's going to be the holiday season. And I'm like, I have the best intentions of making things for every single person I've ever met in my life, like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, I never am accomplishing any of that in
And then
real.
I'm like, I don't even have time to sew a button. So I'm definitely going to be asking everybody for ideas. I think I'm making
Yes.
casserole carriers. Nobody I know actually, other than, well, Gwendolyn watches. Gwendolyn, I don't even know she's going to be here today. But like basically anybody who knows me knows that I hate cooking, but I love eating. So casserole carrier is the gift that just keeps giving. You give them to
Yeah,
all
because
your
they might
friends,
bring you
they
food,
bring
right?
food.
This is a year I want to make reusable gift wrap. I had bought
Oh,
a
that's a great
bunch,
idea.
a whole bunch last year, when it was on clearance and like cute stuff. Like I got some Alexander Henry at Joann's.
Oh, well, now
Um,
that's like,
Now it's like coveted,
I know.
but I got like really fun stuff and like stuff the kids will like and licensed stuff. And there's like some Harry Potter and Pokemon.
So
So
how do you make it? Is
you
it
basically make a giant square and
like a
then
napkin?
you hem it. That's it.
So like
If
a
you wanted to
napkin.
serge it, then you wouldn't even have to hem it. This is the most disgusting love.
It's
I
my
need a
life.
giant trash bag is what I need right now.
I'm about to put myself in the trash bag looking
I
around
mean,
this room. It's like, what
that
did I
might be a good
do?
idea. Have you seen those the funny videos are like put anything in a trash bag or that keeps you from keeping your room clean, and people just like climb in
It's
the
just
trash.
like it's me.
It
I'm
is.
the thing.
I'm the problem.
I'm the problem. It's me.
Yes.
Well, you're usually like a one project, get the project done
Normally,
person, but this book really threw you off for that.
it totally messed me up because I was working on so many projects at the same time. And also, like, even my editor didn't have a concept of this. Like, none of these quilts have ever been like folded and put on a shelf because I wanted to wait until I had all clear on the photography before
Yeah.
I did that, because then you have creases that you can't do anything
Oh,
later. And so,
especially
like,
since
I
you use cotton.
really, yeah, so it's like now I have the okay, I can do things with this other than just have it be here. So,
Oh, do you have
when
pictures of
my
the
daughter
shelves
was
you put
little.
upstairs? Actually, for later. Um,
Oh
she
yeah, I
finally
did.
made her library.
I did. I mean,
Looks good.
not like my full, like what I
I
envisioned
mean,
for
your
having.
at your edition library, like everybody has a dream Pinterest library that has like a
True.
rolling ladder in it
And like
and
painted
like
bookshelves and
yeah, and old editions of books that,
yeah.
and all the pretty. I did see you had the Bridgerton set. I just
So
bought those
my
too.
my daughter is a very high level reader,
Uh-oh.
and but she's 10, and she'll be like, "Mom, can I read those?" Because she thinks they're pretty.
They
And I'm
are
like,
pretty.
"No, you may not."
This is the one time the cover is very
Yes.
misleading because what you'll read in there is not so pretty.
It is not
Not
for a
pretty for a
10-year-old.
10-year-old.
No, definitely not. And so we have these conversations often because it's hard to find her books that are like her reading level that will like challenge her, but
But
also be
appropriate.
appropriate, for her
Yeah.
age group. So that's always a challenge. But
Meanwhile, I'm like trying to find boys' books that are like say enough of the word toilet in it for it to be, interesting for my
Captain
son.
Underpants.
I know we've read them all. I swear, any book that has like enough toilets in it has been read. Boys versus girls. It's amazing.
I know, very different.
It's so different. You
But
got all your thread there. Do
I'm
you still
trying to
have all your
organize
thread
it by
out from all
color.
of your stuff? Did I ever show you what I did to all my thread? Let's see if I can
No,
turn
what
this
do you call
around.
it?
I finally gave up. Whoa, everybody's twisting all over the place. Can you see it?
That's so pretty.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It's gorgeous. I have a bunch of mine. I'm
Now I
going
got
to
to
an
try to get you back
in-person
around.
retreat tomorrow just for the day.
An
My
in-day
friends
retreat.
well, they've been there all week.
Oh,
Um,
wonder what that's like.
but Chantel and I
Oh
were
yeah, we went on a trip. We did do
we
that. I
did.
know
We
what that's
went for
like.
17 days.
I
It's
remember now.
we're not that, crazy. But we had a really fun time with that too. But
It was the
we have
sandwiches for
so
me.
many things. But yes, for those of you who are in the waiting room, we are letting folks in. We figured we would just have an actual like show
We
maybe.
we haven't bantered in a long time, so
Yes, we're
Stephanie
gonna
and I
let that
usually
happen
get
a
to
little
talk
bit.
to each other a couple times a week, and we have the time to get the energy out of us. But we just haven't been able to do that, and it's relatively entertaining to hear us just kind of like,
Go all over the
well, at
place.
least we hope it's relatively entertaining to hear us just
Hopefully,
kind
we think
of,
we're funny.
we think we're great.
I am actually doing like things that like make sense quilting wise though here. So currently I'm trying to reorganize my shelves because it's been a while. But in theory, all of these fit in here and I have my thread in color order. And so I
Ooh,
get it without there being like, a giant mess everywhere.
I
But
only
I
own that
have
much
all these
thread up there
clips
because it looks pretty.
that
So
are all over the place right now. Well, but then it's dust free too, because down here for
yes,
whatever
I
reason, it's
am
very
weird
dusty.
about the dust too. I had my thread in like an old case that had a glass cover on it for a long
Mhm.
time. But then I just decided that it's just too pretty. And because I English paper piece all the time, I'm constantly grabbing for different colors
Yeah.
anyways. And it was really hard to see everything. And I mean, it's free art, right? It's like the all, well, it's not really free, right? It's like all the stuff that's behind me. It's we were saying it's load bearing fabric. It's literally keeping the floor on the ground, I think. So
We had,
it's required.
we have a lot of comments right now. We have a lot of people who are cleaning and arranging craft rooms, and it's
Hey,
whole month of January to declutter their space. I'm hoping that that's not the case for me. I'm hoping like
January's so hard
yeah.
because it's like recovery month. It's February for me that I'm like in boredom because it's still dark outside
Here, I'm gonna
all the
pull
time.
up
Oh, I should get my
garbage
iPad
glam,
out.
the garbage glam photos while you're chatting.
Oh, yeah, that was really fun.
I'm gonna pull up the Putnam
Really cool.
Museum's
And
website.
she took the mood too.
Oh
Like
my gosh, yeah. So
she took the character
granted,
seriously.
not everybody is going to understand
No.
the point of or like what um
What it's even
Descendants
from.
is, but like it's awesome. And it's something that kids are like super obsessed with, and my kid is
Yeah.
super obsessed with it.
So is
So
mine. Like everybody is being this stuff for Halloween, like from this
yeah.
Rise of Red or whatever it is.
So I'm sharing
I'm
my
gonna pull up YouTube, so it's
tab.
probably going to start doing the thing where it's like talking. I'm
So
gonna
this
try
was
not
the
to do that.
winner of the garbage glam. The mission was to create a garment that was 70% reused material. So this jacket, all of a sudden they like and they judged us on like ready to wear when like most of us came with these big avant-garde trash creations. Hers looked really great. It was very elegant, very high-end looking, very ready to wear, and something any
Yeah,
quilter can make. She took all of her scraps from her leftover projects in her craft room and cut them up into tiny little pieces and then quilted them in between batting and tulle, and then turned that into an oversized jacket. And then she did the same thing with all of her yarn scraps to make the bag. So that
really
was
cool.
fun.
But man, I wish, I mean, we would have had that in the bag.
Oh yeah. Well, and I did email them. Apparently, like they didn't know that that's how they were going to judge it. Like that was not the original plan to judge it that way. But I'm not going to complain. Because it was just fun to do the experience. And but I suggested I was like it's just a really different creative brief to come up with like trash
There's
garment
a difference between like
versus
your
ready to wear.
leftover fabric
You know,
versus chip bags.
exactly. So this was the third place winner. They did a
That's
great job.
incredible.
So, and this was like a big reveal. So, like, it was newsprint that made up the skirt, and then she could open it up and you would see all the CDs. And so that was really cool. And it was her older sister who made the costume.
That's
And
really
then these
cool.
are the three winners. So the one in the center was the second place winner. This one was really awesome. It was in like an 1800s dress skirt with made all from like just pop cans that you would end up with. So you can see me and you can see the back of my daughter's head there while we were chatting. This
I
one
used
I
to
thought,
work at that museum. It's
yeah,
funny.
this is where you
Because
discovered that you were allergic to dust.
yes, so I was going to be, my dream was to be a curator and to work in museums and to basically hoard information and touch rare things. And it turns out I'm allergic to dust and mold. So,
That didn't
you
work out for
know,
you.
no, you can't. I mean, everything's moldy dust or dusty mold. So I went upstairs and started designing exhibits, and that's how I got into design. And then I had kids, and now this is what I do. I feed kids and make quilts.
There you go. It all works out.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the short story.
but this one, the person who did this dress was a quilter, and there you can't tell from this photo, but there is quilting in it. This is I'm actually realizing this is my husband and daughter totally blurred out in the background. I'm not sure what they're doing here, but I'm sure they're supposed to be sitting down. But this one was as close to ready to wear as you could get. So I felt like they should have done that one as second place if they were truly judging by ready to wear, but I don't make the rules. This one
Whoa.
was totally made out of Shein bags that just got, shipped, and they didn't purchase them in order to like do this look. They sourced
Wait,
them from like other people within the community, which I thought was clever. Um,
there's that
they
many
did a
people
great
that buy
job.
Sheen, huh?
The difference though between this one and the one that I put together is that the undergarment for this, like the shaping that
Hmm.
comes with the dress, came from like a corset that was
Hmm.
purchased, whereas we created all of our structure ourselves. And so this is the back of that dress that won.
This
So you
was
can
number
see,
two.
yeah, so this was the second place winner who I would have given first place to if it were me. And this is all like, just things that you would get at like Casey's or,
It's real trash.
it's actual real trash that's been taped together to form the skirt. And then she was
Okay, that's
queen
cool.
of um a very polluted Nile. And so she actually had like a 20-foot train of actual
So she
literal
had a
trash.
storyline. I
Yeah,
love
she
that.
did. She did. And then this is my daughter.
Oh,
And all of her in character pouty self, all there. Like she's not normally this pouty. Like
no, not at
she was
all.
in
That is,
character.
she was definitely in character.
So, and then we wove this jacket out of actual chip bags. We made fabric and I showed it off on here. And then I hand stitched all of these flowers on. And I did not, the only thing I had a pattern for was the leotard that she's wearing underneath. And I made that last week on the live because the thing was like a week from tomorrow.
So cool.
And then the rest of it,
You
I had
even made the
no pattern.
wig.
We made the wig. Yeah, we made the wig ourselves. We went to like a black hair care store and bought like weave wefts and glued that all in. My daughter made the crown. This is the structure of it is a Coke um box that you would get cans of Coke in. The structure of the dress, there is this giant like hip cage that we made out of duct tape and Coke boxes.
Incredible.
And then the crinoline is all plastic bags, like sewn together. So all the structure that we created for this, we created from actual trash. And then I literally draped everything on here. I had no pattern. I had no pattern for the jacket. This didn't quite turn out how I thought it would. I probably should have made the heart a little bit more open in the back so that it
Mm.
would lay a little flatter up here. But by the time we were at that point, it just needed to be done. So we just kind
If you need a comparison, you have to like look up the Descendants. What is it? Rise of
of rise
Red.
of red, yeah. And
Um,
it looks, my mom called, she
it's
was
a
just like
Disney movie.
over the moon excited about this. My mom was, and she wants to get her a doll of this.
Oh, done.
Like, oh my gosh, it was it was so close, Stephanie. It looks so cool. She's obviously seen a ton of things that I've made over the years, but like,
It was cool.
wasn't the same level of excitement as seeing this. So she was really excited.
How fun was it to make something that was not for the book, was not quilt related, and was just
And I
kind
didn't
of,
know if it was going to work.
yeah, like
A lot of fun.
a real fun project, right?
It
Like
was
it
a
was
lot of
just
fun.
a passion project for
It was
once.
so much fun. It was so much fun to do it with my daughter and she wants to do like the whole thing herself next year, which is really awesome. Like sew it herself.
Wow.
So it's great to see that like she's getting really excited about sewing and like she's already like that night went home and designed, what we're going to do next year. And it's just really cool to like see that love of sewing come
Hmm.
into her. And whether it's quilts or cosplay,
Whatever.
I don't care. I just want her to be creative and come up with that on her own somehow, some way. So,
Well, the kids are the best. They don't know the rules. Like I felt
no,
like I was definitely not a better quilter when I started, but not knowing the rules and not hearing from the quilt police meant that I didn't feel boxed in or worried about my ideas. I just kind of thought, oh, I could do
this sounds
that.
fun.
That can't
Let's
be
try
so
that.
hard.
Yeah.
right? Because I didn't know the ins and outs of how anything would work. And I didn't understand that, some may have considered the sewing machine that I had at the time to be extremely inferior. I
Yeah.
didn't know I had a sewing machine. It was fine, you know?
Well, and like I've said often that when I started designing quilts, I didn't know it was supposed to be hard.
Me
Didn't know.
either.
And that's good. That's super good because then you're not intimidated, right?
Yeah. Well, the rules don't affect you because you didn't know there were rules. Like
Yeah.
I didn't understand the first rule I learned about quilting that started to give me like quilt anxiety was the press open versus press to the side. Because I learned to do clothing first. And when you learn to do clothing, you press everything open.
Mhm.
And the seam allowance is much bigger. And so the whole idea that it had to be this very precise amount of seam allowance, which I didn't realize at first either. But
Nobody.
then it was like, oh, you can't press open. Like that'll just ruin everything.
Which is
The
not.
world will explode and, all of this stuff. And it's like, well, I don't even know how to press this side. How do you even get it flat? How do you do that? And then I learned about steam versus no steam. Now that's a crowd of people.
That is a whole crowd of people, some of whom
So
have
yeah.
very strong opinions. And I'm like, you do what works for you, man.
Oh well,
And
yeah, that's
sometimes
just
it
it.
works and sometimes it does not. And but honestly, I found it really free to
Oh,
like
I
just
bet.
go do whatever and not worry about like anything.
Well, you weren't worrying, like you weren't like ruining the good fabric either, right?
No,
You're
I
like,
mean, it was
oh
all
man,
like,
I'm gonna ruin these chip bags. Like, whoops,
no,
you
it's
know. You
totally fine.
were like taking apart dresses from Goodwill and things like that to make this. I think it was really cool. Why do you have toilet paper right there?
Because we use it as float toilet paper.
Let me guess, it's Quilted Northern.
It might be. Probably not.
It's
We're too cheap for
for the
that, but it
quilt
is.
room.
It is quilted.
Of course it is.
We do have
It's the
starch,
quilt
and
room.
no starch is also a thing.
Oh
Chantel,
yes.
we're on different ends of that.
We're on different ends of a lot of the quilty decisions. I love starch. I'm
But
trying
yet
really
we can
hard.
agree to disagree, and that's totally fine.
And we
More
both
people
end
should
up
do
with
this in
quilts
life
that are
in
like
general.
worthy of being excited about. So who knows?
Oh,
I
so
love that.
here, Chantel, it's like embarrassing.
What, your
Really
space?
embarrassing. How much stuff I've been cleaning for at least half an hour, and look at this. Look at this situation.
You know what? I
I
love
have
the
to
way your
use this
camera
long
angle
arm.
was.
I have to use this long arm to quilt 2 final projects for the book.
Well,
Like really soon. Really soon. Oh God.
no, you know what? Your camera angle was like perfect to start.
It
Like
was
nobody can
perfect.
tell. It just looks like you have stuff folded behind you and then you turn it and it's like,
No, it's bad,
oh,
Chantel. It's
I
really,
mean,
really bad.
mine's not great, but mine's usually a mess. That's
It's bad. It's really
it's
bad.
bad.
It's
It's
very
gonna be a
bad.
long show tonight, guys. Got a lot
I've
to clean.
not been able to find my gingers for weeks. I know they're
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah, they're under something.
Yeah, they're somewhere.
You won't find them until you clean, though. That's what the cleaning fairies do. They hide something so that you're forced to clean to find it.
I just found 2 brown lipsticks.
Because that's what you need there.
We'll put
You
one
can
on.
put one on.
It'd be fancy.
Ooh,
This
that
one's
is
Cersei
fancy.
Lannister for Game of Thrones.
Nice.
And
Ooh,
this
it looks nice.
metallic.
I can't do brown.
I can only do brown.
Well, I have no color.
Well, you are actually Irish. Her,
Yeah.
we have Becky B had her first quilt at 5/8 seam allowance.
Cool.
It's okay.
It was ready to be taken out in case it didn't fit, right? That's
It's all good.
whatever. If it was squares, it was fine. Your seam allowance is your seam allowance. Until you get to those triangles, then then all of a sudden your world gets crushed.
I found Potato Mommy.
Oh, potato mommy.
That did not, it got cut from the book. There's going to be no Potato Mommy because I didn't have time. I ended up running out of time.
Well,
Maybe
you
someday I'll
know,
make Potato Mommy all on my own.
I feel like you could probably frame that behind you when you put that shelving up.
That could be fun.
I feel like potato mommy deserves to at least be a framed art piece.
It could be. Mat it up and everything.
Yeah.
By the way, I bought these on my
Ooh.
wedding anniversary trip because I didn't have any scissors. Look at this situation. This is like supposed to be a travel scissor that you don't like stabby things with.
But
And
that's
then
kind of
they go
amazing.
back.
That's like a Swiss Army knife for
I
sewers.
know, it's pretty cool. Let's see, we've got
We
Angie
got
saying the
so much
first
going on over here. Nope.
project were pillows for her parents' boat in 1975. Used cardboard templates for the triangles on the sailboat, and the 1/4 inch was good, but she pressed them all open.
Oh well, we
It's all
go
good.
back and forth. Well, you press everything open.
Now
I decide how lazy I am. And if I'm not lazy, I press them open.
I
Although I have to admit,
very
I love the
occasionally,
flatness.
very occasionally I'll press something to the side, but I've got to have a good reason for it.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting to the point where I don't like when I'm quilting it because now I do my own quilting. I guess I've always done my own quilting, but now that I'm quilting things that have a lot
On
more
a long arm.
intersections,
That's when I switched.
yeah, it's really, really hard. And that's when people are like, oh, well, you don't want to do that because if you stitch in the ditch, well, you never really stitch in the ditch, number one.
Yeah. You're always
Um,
next to.
but I just don't like the highs and lows of a quilt that hasn't doesn't have their seams flat. You know what I mean? Like you can
Yeah.
almost tell the level changes. There's like an elevation change. What did you find?
I
Those
have
are
3
pretty.
notebooks. 2 of them have never been used. I just like the color, apparently.
Yeah, well, they're teal. They're your color.
They are my color. I press like 99% of my seams open, Jam. Because I feel like I get a lot better joins and you lose the teeniest bit of fabric when you
Mhm.
press it to the side. And
I
so
have some
like,
good examples of that sitting around.
if you've ever strip pieced something and then you go to like put them together and you nest the seams and it's off just a little bit on the sides, you're like, what did I do? You didn't do anything. It's just the thickness of the fabric folding over the
Mhm.
thickness of the thread. And that's just how it is. But
Yeah.
it's all good. It's fine.
It has to be like extra scant if
Yeah.
you're going to be like folding it. But then
Even
sometimes you're
then,
not
it's
always
still
guaranteed to have
gonna be
both of
weird.
them fold the right amount of scan. I don't know.
Yeah.
I it
Uh,
depends on the level of laziness. If I'm in a more of a hurry or if I'm doing something like a jelly roll race type where I'm going to have long pieces and it's going to be really annoying to open them all up because I'm so close to everything else and I'm in a hurry anyways. I
yeah.
always do those to the side. It depends on the quilt too and how much I care. Sometimes I'm just making a quilt to avoid being upstairs in my real life, and other days I'm making a quilt for real people.
Scraps.
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 What are they going in?
They're going in a bag that I'm gonna bring to my neighbor. Unless you're gonna
That's
claim them,
right.
but I think you have your own issues at the moment that
What?
probably should preclude
Unless
you
they're
from
Tula
claiming
scraps,
scraps.
then
I will
you
bring
use
you these
those.
though, just for funsies.
Oh, cutes.
They're already
Except
pre-built.
I don't think I'm ever going to get to English paper piece again until I'm done with this English paper piecing project. I mean,
You
like
gotta let that
another
go, man.
project.
You'll
It
get
is
it
stressing
done
me
when
out.
you get it done.
Did I don't think I showed this to everybody yet,
Yes, show it
but
off. And then maybe we
yeah,
can open it up to everybody.
this is month one. If you can
It's a
believe this is
lot.
part of month one of my block of the month that I'm in. I'm still trying to cut month two. Month three comes, thank God there's a bank holiday. So it's not coming until Tuesday, which gives me an extra day
There you
to
go.
be able to like get everything done. It's turned out beautiful, but it's man, it's been a lot of work.
I'm
even,
sure.
and yeah, that's just an excessive amount for a month, in my opinion. But then you'll see people that get it done almost immediately, and it's like, wow, I'm not lacking skill, I'm lacking time. Can they provide that with the block of the month?
You just
Like a coupon to give my
multiple.
husband? Like, I can't do anything today. I have the block of the month.
So what you need is
A babysitter.
more time running your children places, because then you have time where you just sit there and you
That's
hand the
true.
phone off to the children to keep them quiet. Or like last week, we had stuff all day, every day. Like it was a
You are
lot.
a taxi.
Oh my gosh, it was bad. And
You truly are
but
the taxi.
like I had my three, or how old is she? She's 4. My 4-year-old,
How old is
a bag
she?
of activities, and I took her to Joann's and let her pick out some clearance craft thing. And man, that kid colored a this like kite thing all day. All day. This unicorn kite, make your own. She thought it was the best thing. So it's all good.
Well, better than drawing potato mommies while you're.
She has improved from potato mommies. Now we're more like
Oh,
abstract creationists,
oh,
something or
that's
other.
cute though.
It is
Gotta
cute.
love kids.
I
Well,
know.
I think we should open it up.
I think
We've
so too.
chattered. We have the ability to do this
We
for
could go for a
hours.
really long time.
We
We
really could.
actually, hang on, let me find my computer cord so I can plug myself in.
What is that green thing sticking up in the camera?
Oh, that would be my lint roller.
Oh, well,
For when I do photography and I'm trying to get the dog hair off, important thing.
there is no getting the dog hair off at this point. It's like it's wishful rolling, really.
They're not like over on my side very often. So it's, if I keep it down here, it's not bad, but it can get bad.
For sure. Ah, Stephanie Brennan said she'll help me. Good. Good. Stephanie Brennan, Stephanie 2.0, and I have to have a date where I give her a whole bunch of my fabric so she can make more book covers.
There you go.
Because then I'm helping a friend and I'm getting rid of fabric.
There you go.
I told her it's all brown or neon though. You got one or the other.
All right, Donna, you are on, and Gwendolyn, you are on.
Ah, Gwendolyn's here. I'm so
She is
glad to hear
here.
that. She's been a sticky stick.
Hopefully you're feeling better. There's so
Great.
much stuff in here. It's ridiculous. Oh, there is a chocolate in there. I don't need to eat it.
Yay!
Don't know how long it's been here. But
Well, I
good
have
to
some
know
Easter
since Dawn.
candy still hidden in a drawer over there.
By the
I
way,
think I'm gonna let that go.
I've been doing cross stitch and embroidery quite a bit lately. And so I found these are cool. There you can get cardboard ones or plastic ones.
Oh, I have some of those.
And I
The
like,
bobbins. That's what they're
yeah, I
called.
like them because then your stuff isn't everywhere. And they do a good job of like holding it, which is nice. And then, so I finally visited the Be Stitch Me, which is the place near us. Their floor is so cool. It's like polished concrete that looks like a galaxy on the floor.
Oh, cool.
And then there's like this sewer grate in the middle of the thing. And they have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys underneath it. So they've got a sense of
Yes.
humor. It's perfect. And then when you buy stuff, they give you sample silk embroidery thread. So that's pretty cool too. And it's like hand dyed.
Whoa.
So there's some like variation in it. So this was also a freebie for my local quilt shop. So that
Cute.
was kind of fun.
I like the little scissors.
And then this one, Chantel.
Oh,
Yeah, right. And so I put a couple of the freebies that I got in here because I thought I could use them maybe eventually.
oh yeah. Those are your colors.
I know, right? I just got the hand dyed embroidery and this Zoom is not doing it justice. I got this couple like at least a month ago. but I just uncovered it. And then I also got
I just
myself
found
like
it again.
my own kit to do this. And the only red that I'm going to use it for is the tomato. Everything else I kind of changed up colors on. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
getting
would
very
do the
in
same.
to, I mean, it's just, I like to have things that I can take along. And so this is a lot easier than
I'm
coloring this.
going to assign every friend here a block of the month
There you
to
go.
to finish for this quilt.
Julie says, Gwendolyn, you were missed.
You were. And 2.0, we missed you too.
Aw,
Did.
I missed
And
you guys.
Donna's been here.
We
She's
were
back
missed,
in the
Stephanie.
basement.
We were missed.
We were.
Were.
I feel special.
It's
I
been a couple
know.
weeks
You
since
are.
Donna's been on too.
You want
It's-
70?
It's been a couple weeks since Donna's been on too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what am I doing?
Crazy, crazy fall, that's for sure. Non-stop stuff.
Reunion tonight.
Basically, got quite the crew
It
on.
is a reunion.
Kind of is.
Kind of.
Well, maybe you guys can help me out, like coming up with some ideas for Christmas gifts because, well, 2.0 is going to be like book covers and bowl
I was gonna
koozies.
say bookmarks, Stephanie.
Yeah. Book covers, bowl cozies, bookmarks, pillowcases, bags.
I've never made a pillowcase. I definitely need to make a
Okay,
pillowcase.
you got to make pillowcases.
I don't know why I haven't.
Too, it was this.
Crunchies.
Yeah,
Scrunchies?
yes,
Nice.
That would be great for like little girls.
I don't have a lot of little, well, I mean, have my own little girls in my life, but most of the
Cushions.
crowd is like 50 and over.
You can do mug rugs, throw pillowcases.
Pin cushions.
You got all the ideas. See, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't think of a thing.
Keychains.
Ooh, I've always wanted to make some keychains.
Super easy. Very easy.
Personally, love a good mug rug set.
Yes.
I
That's
do
like-
have a mug rug set out right now that I was going to do. It's actually one that I bought from you, the Boo ones.
Oh yeah.
Boo mug rugs. I love
That's
them.
But I
only-
really love this fabric and I kind of want to hoard it for something else, like maybe some coffin hexies.
This is officially going to be the Chantel bag.
Yes, I have a bag for you too of things.
Oh,
I should
and I
probably
have a
pull it
monkey
out.
one too.
So
You're
are
gonna
you
love it.
able to see me?
You're gonna recognize it immediately. Here's Steph.
Here.
Yes,
You gotta check it out, Steph.
I already have one.
Oh, I know. But look at what I found in the stuff that you donated to me.
Oh my gosh, a banana notebook. And it's a
I
gold
know, right?
banana
I'm so
notebook.
excited.
And it's shiny.
I have
Why
a
is
ballet
Lily's-
slipper. Are you missing these?
Well, the ballet slipper doesn't fit.
I only
What
have
size
one.
is the other shoe?
An 8.
Yeah, you can toss them both.
Yeah, I don't have the pair. So I
Yeah.
just so
I
I
don't
put them
know
in
why
there.
you have either, but they don't.
Well, when you gave me that thing of hand-me-down clothes,
Oh,
they
were
were
they
in
in
there.
there?
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
it was funny. So I got 2 single inserting shoes as a bonus.
Can y'all see me? Or is
Yes.
my picture blank?
I can see you.
We had a Zoom, we do a Zoom, I do with friends on Wednesday, and they never
Mhm.
could see me. I could see myself, right? And what they should have been
Oh.
seeing. They said I was blank and said that there was an icon there, like a person, like a black square with the white person, like, like a icon type thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out. I went through all my settings. I couldn't figure, so it's like, I'm glad to know that, hey, this is
Yeah,
working.
you are here.
So I thought it was my camera on my laptop or something. I couldn't, maybe security or something. It's like, so I'm glad that y'all can see me. Anyway,
You are there. You and all your thread behind you.
well, that's
And your quilty shirt.
here's some more thread over there.
All right,
Nice.
we've got Dawn RRW who would like to enter the Zoom. So I've asked a question to Dawn in the YouTube chat. It is only for Dawn to answer. So I know everybody gets really excited about the quilt trivia. But Dawn, what
like, oh my
size are
God.
the charm packs cut to? And if you can answer that, then you will gain admission.
What was it again?
Dawn RRW, what size
Okay.
are charm packs cut to?
Okay.
So I was going through some stuff because I came across this quilt, which I know I thought I had the panel for, the Aristocats. I don't know if you
Oh,
can
cute.
see it, right? And I like the pattern, the layout, but I got my thing out and it's actually the Christmas cats. It's this one, but
Ooh.
it is, mine has a white background behind these cats.
Oh.
My actual panel. I was like,
Oh,
well,
those are
I
cute.
think you'll be able to see them better that way, though.
but that's some of them. They're just cute. They
They
got
are
they got
cute.
Christmas ornaments and stuff, and I didn't remember that it wasn't the actual Aristocats. But it's the Christmas ones. Like, okay, so we got to change.
A Christmas cats.
Yeah, so I gotta. Yeah,
I just want to
now-
show you that this is only a small collection that's down here. Right
Well, to be fair, most of mine are high noons that have been drank. So you're looking better than me.
I also have some spindrift over by the desk, but we're not dealing with that at the moment.
It's usually like random koozies sitting around and like water bottles. Hi,
There you go. You can make koozies for Christmas gifts.
Doc. Yeah, that's right. You know what? My littlest one, she's not quite 3. She had a popsicle the other day and it was cold. So she went over to the koozie drawer and got herself a koozie that said dilly dilly, like, Bud Light, and was holding her popsicle in the koozie so that her hands wouldn't be
So how messy did the koozie get is the question.
literally like eating a popsicle out of a dilly dilly Bud Light, like Las Vegas koozie.
Did you like take a photo of that for like
Oh yeah.
future?
It's like, that's our kid. Innovative and, using those koozies right.
And a future alcoholic.
Apparently,
College
you
family,
know,
at
it's
least.
the Irish family after all. I mean, what do you expect?
I am running out of steam on the things that I want to clean in here.
Oh, my earphone is finally going out. I think I'm gonna have to return these to Apple. I keep having trouble after we're on for like an hour. My one ear goes out and it turns to static. I was really hoping it was gonna happen tonight, so I could be like, see this video right here where it went out?
Hey, my husband would like to say hi to everybody.
No, I never said that. Hi, Stephanie.
And I like,
By never
Whoa.
saying that, you said it.
I heard a man's voice and I immediately came over and I was like, oh crap. What do we have going on?
It's just this guy,
Yeah.
Steph.
Stephanie,
all
it's just
good.
me.
It's all good. You're not going to spam us and show us things we'd rather not see.
Yeah, we've
It's
had
all
that.
good.
If I do, Stephanie's gonna tell HR.
Yep,
I'll call HR.
I'll call
This
HR.
was a joke, is that I was HR, but I was like the worst offender. And
For a
so,
while. I think Bobby took the worst offender crown after a while.
I was gonna say Bobby's not
Okay.
here, so I'm not gonna say anything.
I don't know. I may or may not have a playlist for times with your husband. And he was very uncomfortable when I talked about it.
He was kind of fun to mess with.
It's like 95% women and my husband and Bobby. And
And Bobby. And then that's a great name for the +1 man, too.
and I got
And
stuck with
Bobby.
it. Yeah, I know. Let's get Bobby out here one day. See what he's
That'd
up
be
to.
fun.
I haven't heard from Bobby in forever.
You guys need to have a show that's the reunion.
I know.
Oh, that would be
Talk-
fun.
Talk about your old days. Be like,
I
all
know.
that shipping to Chantel.
That would have to be on a paid
It was a lot.
subscription site to talk about the old days.
Oh hush.
It's not.
I'd be down. That would be fun. I'd be down for that.
It would be fun. It would be a good time, I think.
How
Was it-
many things are in the background there that you are working on 2.0? I'm just calling you 2.0 from now on. It's
That's
been
fine.
shortened.
So this, I currently have 5 packs of these. These are pre-cut,
Oh, thank God.
full cozy.
I was like, wait, you cut the
oh goodness, no. No, my aunt buys them and just has them shipped directly to me. And I am going through this stack of 10-inch squares.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Fill them and stuff them. And then behind the 10-inch squares, which I have 17 book cover sets to cut out and put together.
I have so much fabric for you. You want to come over and play?
Yes.
You
And then Chantel, you'll like it.
yes. Ah, I love that fabric. It was
I do too.
I thought that was such like it was a really underrated, really cool collection.
Yes.
Like the pink and the brown, it was just like, yeah, and the little touches of yellow and the spider webs and all of it. It was really cool.
yeah.
So what's the book
yeah.
cover that you're making? Like, show me one that's done.
Give me just a second. Oh,
So do you make the bowl cozies, then you send them back for them to sell, or what's the
yeah.
deal with
I
that?
make the bowl cozies and then I ship them to my aunt who's in Indiana. This
Yeah.
is one book cover.
Okay.
So it has
Oh,
a
cool.
sleeve in here, and then the elastic holds the book in place and built-in bookmark.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yay. So are
In
those
exchange
still
for
in the-
fabric, I'll take the pattern so I can cover all my books. I won't tell anybody the pattern. I'm not good enough to
Oh, I can write it out. for
figure that out.
So what am I doing?
What are you doing?
No, I'm running out of steam. So I have this basket of random crap that I don't feel like dealing with at the moment.
The Doom box.
Oh,
So I
put it
might
under
not.
the long arm. That's what I do.
I mean, that's fairly full too.
Yeah, I know. Mine is too, because that's where I put everything I don't want to deal with.
I mean,
So
like
there's a lot under there.
antique buttons.
Oh,
this-
I always put
this-
those in ball jars, the antique buttons. I have
These
like
should-
collections of them up there.
These
That's
should probably
where
just be thrown
antique
out
buttons go, in a ball jar. Definitely.
because there's so many pins in it. I stab myself every time I touch it. Ooh, this is a good find. My aunt got these for me when I was like a little kid to make American Girl doll clothes with. And apparently I
Aw.
still have them.
Aw.
We're not hoarders. We're just sentimental.
Not or you know what? I'm gonna put this with the American Girl doll stuff, which also is right here. How long did we make it? We made it 48 minutes today, Chantal.
Well, actually, I think dolls sort of started to get mentioned earlier. I did take note, but I let it go.
We did.
Oh,
We have a hard time.
my Halloween costume. I found an actual like American Girl doll approved like Kirsten costume. And then like an adult
have a
size
Samantha?
box. Yes.
Okay.
If you can still find them. They
How much
are
are they? Oh
it
yeah.
was
that's a
not
lot.
that bad. I think it was
Where's your
under
aunt?
$50 for Kirsten, and Kirsten is like, you know what I mean? Like it's a dress and a crinoline and the socks and the apron and the bonnet and
So it's like the whole 9 yards.
yeah.
By the way,
Here's your antique. These are my great
what else
aunt
I found?
antique buttons.
That's a
Mine
lot.
are back over here somewhere. Probably up over there. You can see them all. I have a whole bunch of antique buttons. Apparently, they can be riddled with lead. So, that's
a lot
fun.
of-
Don't lick the buttons, guys.
I don't usually lick buttons, so
Oh, well,
safe.
I'm glad you're going to be
I'm
safe
safe.
then.
Usually,
All right.
Totally safe.
Usually.
I'm gonna pretend this doesn't exist.
out of sight, out of mind.
Yep. Under the long arm it goes.
It's actually
That's
right
what a long
on top
arm's
of the
for.
long arm itself, so I do have to deal with it at some point, but I don't feel like doing that right now.
Do it.
Right now, I want to fold
Show us the
them.
projects.
I want to fold them. That's what I want to do.
Do it.
I don't even know what this is. I think this is my kids.
I gave up on cleaning. I'm making paper pieces.
We all.
I
have
was
them.
like, I'm not going to do this. I don't want anything to do with this block of the month. I'm having a very emotional moment with my block of the month.
Okay.
Clearly, guys. until it's eating me alive. I love a deadline. I hate not being able to keep a deadline. And then I make like pretend deadlines and I stress myself out over them. Like nothing's going to happen if I don't get it done in time. I just know my ADHD self. And if I get 1 month behind, I'll get 2 months behind. And the next thing you know, I'm going to be 85 and I'm going to be like, I still have to finish month 8 of this
Just create a
block
cascade,
of the month.
don't you?
Yeah. What?
You just create a cascade for yourself, don't you?
I do. I do. It's bad.
That's for my sister. All right. I gotta measure out some
I
stuff.
create my own anxiety because sometimes I work well under the anxiety and then sometimes I just crumble. This is a crumbling moment.
You want to talk about a deadline? I gave myself a deadline to finish
I
this
saw that.
series by December, like December 6th, which is when book 5 of the series comes out.
Mhm.
All the books are this thick, and there are 2 extra books that go with it.
Oh, how many have you done?
1.
Oh, well, you know, you're on the block of the month plan too.
I've decided I'm only going to read these books for the first time once. I'm gonna savor it and enjoy it, and they are
They're really good.
Oh my gosh, yes, they're incredible.
Maybe an audiobook is more my style.
I do a lot of those too. These are not available on audiobook from my library though.
I have been reading so much.
I do.
Like
You what?
significant amounts. Like actual books.
If it was up to me to read physical books, I might read 2 or 3 a year, if that. Audio books, I do about 60. So,
Yeah.
60.
yes.
Wow.
I started doing an audiobook while I'm down here sewing instead of television, every once in a while. And yeah, it's nice. I totally enjoy having somebody else read to me.
Yes.
Isn't it lovely? Like I can just imagine, you know, sitting in the drawing room, you know, 200 years ago, because clearly I was wealthy, you know, 200 years ago, and I had people in a drawing room that could sit there and read to me. But that's what I imagine in my make pretend land, that it's like, oh, it's just so lovely to have people sit and read to me.
Yes.
Yeah, now we have to pay for a subscription and
Now we pay for a
Yeah.
subscription,
Have
but hey, I don't have to pay for the
weird
drawing
voices.
room. So
Yeah, that's true.
Is one of
You
the
don't
quotes in the book.
necessarily have to pay for a subscription. There's audiobooks at the library for free.
I do
You know,
use the
I,
library stuff too, but sometimes I'm too impatient.
Yeah.
If you guys would like a preview of the book, I can give it to you as I fold.
Yes.
So this is for a horizontally orientated quilt panel.
Ooh.
And basically the book includes instructions on how to bring any quilt panel, add enough borders to get it to be 2 feet by 4 feet. So then you can put any 12-inch block around it. And so this one, I just use really simple 12-inch, like just a 9 patch, because I wanted it to be simple, and it turns out square. So if you want a vertical panel, and then one of my cohorts in the fellow authors, she wrote a book called Block Genius, and it's all the math for a bunch of blocks already done for you. So you don't have, if you get that book too, then you can pick pretty much any block you want to go in it, and you don't have to do your own math in order to make
It's called Block Genius.
Block Genius by Sue Vogelin.
Nice.
I have to
So
write that
that's a
down
really
somewhere.
good one to have if you like doing different blocks, but you don't want to do the math for the different blocks. It tells you what
Nobody
size
wants to
part
do the
you're
math.
getting, and then you don't have
I
to
love math, but I don't want to do the math.
well, and then if you're wrong, you know, you're in trouble.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, think about that.
You know, you cut everything the wrong size, which I totally did while working on this book.
I've done that too.
Did.
It's not fun.
Yeah, talk about losing steam on Block of the Month. Our guild, the fiscal year starts in September, and that's when a lot of the groups start up. And so yeah, I jumped in on this Block of the Month last September, and I made it okay the first three. And then over the winter time, I just went through just really overwhelming, stressful, intensive, whatever. I fell behind the group. And then, gosh, the math wasn't adding up or angles. I couldn't get the angles to match. Um, I was getting frustrated. And, so I'd set it aside and I ended up a couple months behind. So, one particular time I was at, a group meeting and I'm like, oh, such and such a block was kind of aggravating me, but they're already like, done with it 2, 3
Light
months
years
ago.
away.
So yeah, so I never really had anybody to really kind of reach out. So I finally got to the point I'm like, you know what, I just can't do it. I set it aside, and then a workshop comes up, and that's exciting. So I start another quilt, and then I start another, and I'm like, what am I going to do with that thing? I'm either going to throw it away. I don't want to finish it. And then the group leader announced last month, oh, we're going to have this big reveal in November. I mean, the group has already ended and, September was the last whatever. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm trying to, get
You're gonna do
like
it.
6 blocks done in like, yeah, these couple of weeks. And, but this one is quite, I'll show you how bad this pattern is. It's disgusting. I don't know how, they even, so these are two triangles. And then,
Oh.
so you put all these rectangles and triangles on an angle but the math and I was so precise with my cutting. So I've got like these extra corners don't match up. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to whack them together and it's going to go in the quilt just like this. And it's, yeah, I don't
Make
know.
some pillows.
Yeah, no, it's just the one block. Every block is different. It was supposed to be some kind of commemoration to Barnum and Bailey's anniversary or something. So it has, I don't know. Every
Are
block
those the other
is,
blocks? Those are pretty.
yeah, these are some of them. This one didn't turn out. It's supposed to fill the whole 13.5 inch, and it only comes halfway. It's an applique, and
Oh.
I used the yeah, but this one
Well, I can see
this one
why you didn't
actually I
want
did,
to finish it because things were awkward and didn't fit.
Well,
And
and
yeah,
that's never fun.
I did one test of this, and this one
That's a
turned out
cool
to be
block.
12 inches, and the rest of these are 14 inches. So it's like, and it doesn't even make a suggestion on, I know I'm gonna just have to sash it to, get it to match up,
it's going to
but
be interesting to see how everybody else figured it out.
Yeah, I want to see
yeah.
everybody else's. Maybe everybody else's is also like wonky donkey. You never
Well, the
know.
one lady, one of the quilt, she does everything foundation piece. So she puts she puts everything into EQ. And, so in hers, I saw 'em, on show and tell days, absolutely beautiful. But, um, I didn't have the guts to go and ask her, can I borrow your pattern? You know what I mean? I wasn't sure if that was like an appropriate thing to
Well, all
do,
she could
but
say was no. So, yeah, I would have.
I know,
Or you
I
could have
know.
offered to buy them at a, hopefully friendly friend cost.
Yeah. So,
Who knows? Get it done and say la vie.
yeah, I'm loving this year's block of the month though. This is I'm making a mauve one, and I'm making a beige. So it's going to be kind of a his and hers, but they seem like just really vintage type patterns, and I'm
Oh, they're
using
cute.
this scrappy. So this whole thing, every block is going to have a different plaid each block, but it's so yeah. But I'm loving this one, and I really just don't want to finish this other one, but I know we have
I
to.
wonder
I have
if it
two
was
weeks.
somebody in the guild or something that made the pattern, and then I'd be afraid to be like, this pattern is like terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people did complain, and a lot of people I saw dropped out. But this guy is just he's just we love him to death, and he does a lot of really awesome stuff for our guild, and he's a go-getter, and he loves. But we're finding out, and now I'm hearing him openly admit that he is ADD, and he doesn't test his patterns.
Oh,
So there was another lady who stepped up to test his patterns. Um, but anyway, we're just
That
there
is
for fun.
important. I've gotten a lot of math wrong in my day. And
Yeah.
I always send to a tech editor.
and your tech editor is like,
She's really like
she's really
used to
good.
run a quilting magazine. So
She's
although
very
for the book they're using the in-house one because funds. But
By the way,
but
Stephanie, that one's
editor.
To me, there's nothing worse than trying to do a pattern and it's wrong, right? It's like once it
Oh,
gets out, it needs to be right. To me, it needs to be right. Like I don't want to have to end up fixing someone else's mistakes.
Well, and
I know.
At
that's
least
what
a lot of them. I can understand one, right? But not a bunch, like
in
things
the
not-
industry, nobody actually does testing. If you do testing, it's a marketing thing. It's not like an actual like I want your feedback. Everyone who like wants true correct patterns uses tech editors. And
Yeah, it's like a startup thing, really. You're either starting up or you're trying to get the marketing. Yeah.
exactly.
It's like I'll do quilt tests for some people sometimes, but it comes down to just that if they it comes down to a social media thing, really.
Yeah. All right. Do I have a home for these?
You need a new bookshelf, Stephanie?
I
Your
mean,
quilts.
we have one. We have located. We're trying to clear out our storage units. So I have 3 bookshelves in my living room now, the short ones. And then I have another tall one, but it doesn't fit anywhere in here, that's for sure. I do have space. I'll just have to move some things around.
I need more bookshelves, but I have nowhere to put them.
Yeah, that's my problem.
We're gonna start
Yeah.
having fabric upstairs at this rate.
There's no more room for them. But I feel like I want to like actually use what I have,
I want to try too, but it's a light one to try.
very hard because if you look at a magazine or you go to a quilt shop or anything, you find new stuff, right? Like you
for sure.
can't like not get new stuff, and it's like I totally don't need any new stuff.
I get it. Very much
I
get it.
think it's all quilters. I don't know anybody that just doesn't have more than they're ever going to sew. Everybody has enough for them and all their friends.
Yeah.
You just
I
never know when the quilt
absolutely do.
apocalypse is going to happen, and you're going to need to help all your friends.
I know.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
I like the excuse.
Yeah, that's because you're going to benefit from the excuse. So,
Well, the sad part is that you have friends that pass, and then their family
true.
is getting rid of all of their stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're contacting one of their quilting friends to help them, price it and whatever, and just to see it go for pennies. It's like, it's frustrating. Yeah, it's like I don't want, because I've spent a lot of money on my stuff and I don't want it. Yeah, I want my friends to have it, but I also don't want it given away because my husband, I mean, we both used to work. He just works now, and that's a lot of money to just give away.
Yeah, that's
I got
true.
I got the majority of my stash for free, for sure. From yeah, a friend of a friend's. Yeah, the husband called out and said, yeah, just come clean this out.
Apparently I'm
And
getting my
Well, and that's what it is. And it wouldn't be so bad, but I don't think. Well, a lot of people, they just don't understand the value, right? Like they don't realize the value in what's there. I mean, I've got $100,000 just in machines. That
I
doesn't
know,
count
right?
any fabric. That doesn't count any fabric, right? So, yeah, it's like I feel like I need to go around and put a sticker on everything. Okay, this
Yeah.
if this
The
year
red, the
this
red
was
dot.
the value in 2024. This was the value of this. Yes, you don't have to sell it for this, but this is, you need to at least know that, I paid $15,000 for this machine or whatever it was, right?
That's fair, actually. I feel like that is, when I called my insurance and I'm telling them, that I need to insure my machines, and they're like, well, if they're under $500, it doesn't, and
It's
you're
like
like,
it's like no, they're not. They're all over $5,000. Excuse
they're
me.
they're
yeah,
not under $500. I don't even think the featherweight is under $500.
my
Exactly.
my
So
quilts are under a homeowner's policy that is massive for the basement. I had to add that on when we moved everything in house.
Yeah.
this one out. Oh,
Okay, well, I am making progress.
Well, that's good. Me too. I'm working on I'm just doing a little cotton cuts clue number 8.
I think I have that in upstairs. Tree of
Well,
Life.
I've also got 9 here that I'm trying to get 8 and 9 before 10, which is the final one, comes in, and I'm going on vacation Monday. So I'm trying to
Oh,
get
that's me.
done.
That's the one I have. I have Tree of Life, number 10. I have the final one.
Yeah, I'm doing
Oh.
fabrics are
I am the one who's supposed to show that off.
Oh, you are. Well,
Yes.
I'm doing enchanted is my fabric, and I love it. I love all these cheddars and navy.
Yeah.
oh,
And then
nice.
I just finished clue 3 for the Wild West. So that's up to date, but this one for some reason I ended up with 2. My thing for keeping up with these usually it didn't happen this month, is the week that it comes in, it has to be completed. Like that's my own goal. Like it comes in the mail, if I get it in the mail, or like the Wild West, the clues come out on the end of like the last Friday of the month. So then I have to the first Friday of the next month to do it. I try and keep it within that week, and that way I don't get behind. I do not like getting behind.
me either. Now I'm behind.
Well, I'm always playing catch up.
Yeah,
Right?
well, yeah.
I don't like doing that.
I like to blame Gwendolyn because she's like, I love block of the month. It's not really Gwendolyn's fault.
See this big stack of cozies that are stuffed, ready to start. So
Oh my gosh.
this is not even half.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So you just like pre-prep them all and then zoom through them?
Yep, I pre-pop them all, and then I sort them by the thread color that I'm going to use, and then assembly line them.
Okay.
How do you stop? Like, I don't even know how to make a bowl cozy.
So it's
You don't. You just have Stephanie do it.
You're right.
This is true.
That
This is
was the
very good
appropriate
answer.
way to blurt.
So you have a 10-inch square,
Uh-huh.
and then you have there are measurements for the darts on here. But the first thing that you do is sew an X on here, and that's your quilting on
Okay.
each piece, and then you sew your darts together, trim the dart.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, and then put your two halves together.
And then you sandwich and turn in side
Yep.
out, or yeah,
Yep.
no binding.
Yeah, no
That
bind.
would be a pain.
So
No
when it's done,
binding,
it looks like
okay.
this. And make sure that everything is 100% cotton, because then you can
Or
put
it will start a
it
fire. Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
even your thread. Yes.
Yeah.
I use the Quilt, and that way I can cut my batting and my fabric at the same time.
Oh,
Smart.
yeah.
Smart.
And then,
I saw that they had that, and I mean, I don't need that many bowl cozies, I don't think.
yeah. Well, a lot of people sell them.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
And they sell for like anywhere between $10 and $15 per cozy, depending on the event.
Interesting.
Maybe I do need one then.
Chantel's like, I have $15.
Hmm.
What I don't have is time to make a bowl cozy.
Yeah.
You're right, I don't. I have a lot of optimism. That's what I have.
They're easy to make, but they are kind of time consuming just because there's so many steps.
But if I made like 8 of them for random people, I could probably handle that.
Yeah.
What I did is I just sat down with a layer cake, and really I kind of needed a little bit bigger than the 10-inch, like when with using the Quilt, but it like fit perfectly, right? Like just you just
Right.
had to
So
really
sometimes
tighten
your
up.
edges.
And I sat there with the layer cake, and I just made the whole layer cake. Like I just matched up, 2 fabrics for each one and cut them and made them all in one sitting. It was pretty quick.
There you go.
I love that.
You can make 20 out of a layer cake.
Yep.
I love a good fabric rainbow.
Ooh.
Since I don't have room
Oh, wait,
for
is that
it on myself.
the new Tula, the cat deja vu one?
Some of it might be.
Some
Yes.
of it is, yeah.
Okay, I saw some Moon Garden.
Yeah. And then I needed, I don't know what I'm doing. Binding.
You need that for a binding.
Yes, pretty much.
Yes.
I already used it for a binding on a small like quilty. I did like a whole cloth, quilty show off quilt. It's almost like a placemat. But I'm using it upstairs as like a runner underneath my I have like a black cheesecloth on my counter, and then I have a spider bowl, like a spider web bowl, and it's full of colorful pom-poms, and it has spiders on it, glitter spiders.
Oh,
So I have
how
this like
cute.
whole this whole like center piece that's like this really like vibrant Halloween thing going on. It's really cute. I should take a picture. I wasn't even thinking about that. I've been making pom-poms like crazy, like all these little yarn pom-poms, because I'm going to make a Christmas wreath.
Oh, that'll be cute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a Christmas wreath, but it's
decorations
every color.
are like out of this world. And just let me tell
You
you that.
just wait.
Her
I have to
trees,
stop quilting.
her trees
Hold them
put
up.
everything to shame. They look like they belong in a department store.
Trees.
Yes.
Multiple. One, thank you, because I get really excited about my trees.
Yeah, they're amazing. Julie
We have a
says
storage
she get
unit just for the
motivated to
trees.
clean, but she's at the worst before better stage. I am not at a great stage. I am seeing progress.
I see the bars. I
know,
see the
right?
belly bar.
Maybe today's thing will be to just get it like this area cleared off. That will be good, probably.
I managed to get the pile of fabric sorted, but then I have all of the solids. I don't really use solids, but solid feeling fabric goes against the wall over here. And now I got to climb over there because I can't get behind my long arm and then put it all in order, because I don't use solids so much that I literally keep it back there behind, like back over there.
I literally cut these like a year ago.
Oh, they're ready for this year.
The pajama pants.
You're gonna make them this year.
I also have a whole pile of ones that just need the waistband inserted.
You can do them now.
I could.
You could also bring them to
I still have book edits to finish
you
by
can bring
November
them to where
1st.
I work.
You can bring them to your retreat.
No,
No.
I'm not bringing a sewing machine. I have only packed. Oh, I'm going to like just a day long retreat tomorrow because that's all I could manage.
Oh, that's fun.
it's with some friends that we used to get together twice a year, and it's been years, and like one of us has passed away, and so it,
Aw.
it's time to get together.
That's so
But
bad.
so I decided I'm just bringing handwork. There's no way I'm lugging a whole sewing machine. Although I had the right color thread on to at least do this Harry Potter one right now.
Ooh.
But I don't feel like doing that.
You could bring the ones that just need a waistband to where I work and list them as an alteration or a repair. And I could do it for you.
You could, but then I'm still defeated.
It's just a waistband. You did
Then
the
I
hard
have
work.
to have you fix my pride.
Oh, yeah.
Can't have you do that. Sew my pride back together.
What is all of this? Oh my god.
Are you making Halloween costumes? Anybody?
Absolutely not.
My
Already made
girls
it.
want to be mermaid dinosaurs. So,
That
That's an unusual combination. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do to try to keep it simple. So my oldest wants to be a triceratop mermaid and my youngest wants to be a T-Rex mermaid. So I think I'm going to make like a little headpiece for them, like with the horns and then something out for the T-Rex and then just make a little mermaid tail and call it, that's going to be it.
that's it.
That sounds
I
good.
mean, my daughter, my middle child wants to be, so this is like her favorite book, Battle Bunny. And
Nice.
she wants to be Battle Bunny. And so I'm like, Battle Bunny's naked, honey. Like Battle Bunny just has drawn on like battle gear. And so I ended up having to buy this jumpsuit, this army jumpsuit or whatever. And then I have a patch that's getting made. This is Battle Bunny on it. And then I have a clear bag that I bought and I'm going to alter so that she could have the book with her. And then she has bunny ears and a tail. And we're hoping that and some grenades are going to be enough for, her to be Battle Bunny.
My kid just wants to be a Pokemon character that I can buy easily on Amazon. So
Oh, yeah, JD wants to. Oh,
that's happening.
Penny, the little one, she is being Minnie Mouse because she has no idea what Halloween is, but she does know that she wants to wear something pretty, and so I got her this Minnie Mouse costume and came today, and she's been wearing it all day, and it came with little like high heels. They're like little wedge shoes, they're costume shoes, but they're a little bit nicer. And and it comes with little gloves, and she's insisting on wearing the gloves, the little white gloves everywhere. And the Mickey ears are heavy because they have a tiara on them. And so she's going to wear this costume out before it's even Halloween. She thinks that that's just how she should dress. So it's cute though. I mean, I can't deny that it's not adorable. It's going to be really hard to clean when she gets chocolate milk on it though.
I would think so.
Well, it's like, when you buy your kids like those nightgowns that look like princess dresses and they're meant to be washed.
This is not
That was my hope. This is not that. This is like costume. Like, I'm afraid that if I wash it, the tulle and stuff like that's going to have trouble. And
Probably just need to put it away once she gets it off and say, you can't wear it now. You cannot wear it until then. Yeah.
yeah, I know I should, but it is also really adorable. She's also wearing like this Snow White dress, alternating with that, and then one that's bluey.
Louis.
Yeah, I'm wearing a bluey sweatshirt. Did you notice?
Oh, I didn't. Very cool.
cute.
Target.
Both of my girls they've decided they don't like Louis anymore. And that breaks my heart.
I know, because you like Bluey.
I
You
do
watched it on your own.
I love bluey.
I will just watch it on my own when
I don't even know what
Yeah, me
blue
too.
is.
It's a character.
I don't
So
know.
Cartoon.
now that our books are upstairs,
Oh, that's cute.
I got a tension rod for like a,
Like a shower.
and just hung it color order. I found the kids can keep color order. They get that.
Nice.
I was like, oh, this is pink. It goes with the pink. So
That's awesome.
I'm glad with that. I've decided I'm gonna do a punt of all of the flannel pajama stuff because this is supposed to be flannel nightgowns. And so I'm just gonna put all of it in here and it's gonna live under the long arm for right now.
Yay!
My flannel scraps.
My solution.
It'll be
I
my
need to turn on this air vent, so don't mind me while I climb up here and
Stephanie, where do you get your flannel?
I got it all at Joann's. This is
Okay.
probably not what you want to hear.
No, so I have this hankering to make a project, but I would like to find some 108-inch wide flannel.
Oh, there's plenty of that. Go to like back quarter shop.
Okay. I might do that.
might open this.
So my grandson is going to be a pumpkin spider.
Oh, that's
Because he is
Okay.
all about pumpkins and spiders right now.
No fish.
Well, he loves good fish along with his shark and whale, But no, we decided pumpkin spider was easier for Nana to sew.
I agree.
That was kind of him.
Well, of his mother.
Right?
She talked him into it.
I pitched it and she goes, "Sounds good to me, Mom."
There you go. How's the baby doing?
Good. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it's been 2 months. Can you even believe it's been 2 months? I can't even believe it. But he is just adorable. And I'm so grateful that he's a good baby for her, with all of the struggles that she had with Theron and medical stuff, that
Oh yeah.
he's just growing like a weed. And he I had purchased, do you know what a baby bajorn is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had one from when Zoe was little, so it's over 20 years old, but it's still in perfect condition. But I bought a new one for her when Theron was born, so she has two. And the idea is that I would have one to use for the baby, and then she would have one to use. And with him, because of his helmet, because of all the medical stuff, she never got to really use it with him. And so with the new baby, she has pulled it out and she is like, "Oh my gosh, I love this thing, Mom. I can't believe that, I didn't use it more." And I go, "I know, I told you, it's great, especially with a toddler, because, you just put the baby in it, put him forward or backwards, it doesn't matter, but it allows you to be hands-free so you can, chase the toddler around and do all the things."
That is
Baby
definitely
Penny
helpful.
lived in one of those things for like a year and a half.
Well, that's how Asher is.
I cut a lot of fabric with a kid and baby viewer.
Me too. I
My girls
cut
both like
Tula
Moby
in a
Rabbit.
Tula. Because my baby carrier was called a Tula. So it was a baby Tula and a Tula.
The only downside about it is, selfishly, I want to hold him all the time, right? And
You don't
I
get
can't do that if, she's hoarding him over there in the baby resort. So, that's the downside. But I guess that's not that bad of a downside when you really think about it. And
It's true. It could be your back hurting.
It's a big plus side for the connection to the mom and baby.
yes, and she's nursing, and so then that helps, with all of the production and everything, having the baby right there. So that's all good. But I can't wait till Halloween and to see them together.
That'll be
Aw.
Little pumpkin patch. We're gonna call him Little Pumpkin Patch. The baby's just gonna be a pumpkin, not a pumpkin spider. Theron's gonna be a pumpkin
Oh,
spider.
but you have the perfect opportunity to have baby wearing like the baby in the baby carrier with the legs and the arms and stuff.
This is true. You could just pin some
You're
extra
not
arms
wrong.
onto the baby carrier.
You're not wrong. That could be pretty.
That might be the easiest.
And then it could be a pumpkin spider patch.
Because you just need to make like
Exactly.
some tubes that are closed on one side and turn
Yeah.
them right side out, stuff them with some fiberglass.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Close up the open end, pin that sucker in place, you're good to go. Get some
These are good.
eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
They make giant ones at Joann's, so you can get all kinds of sizes. I got it for the day.
Sorry, I disappeared there. I had to run upstairs and get some water, and I'm pretty sure my son is still awake upstairs.
That's fun.
And the funny thing is that I'm not alone tonight. Dad was putting them to bed.
My 10-year-old went to bed as soon as we got home from without dinner. She just went and it was like, I'm tired, I'm gonna go lay down. I'm like, okay. And like we could not wake her up for anything.
What?
So she had a week, but it was like maybe
Did have a
7
week.
o'clock when we got home. She just went to bed. I was like, okay. Don't be
think I
sick.
She'll be up at 3.
Tomorrow, don't be sick.
She'll be up at 3. Oh, it's time to get up.
I
Y'all
know,
need
right?
to get up. I can't
She'll
sleep.
get up and read though.
Probably. She's on this Serafina and the Black Cloak thing that she's got to do for school. She is
I'm
loving it.
debating.
If anyone's looking for book recommendations, that one has captured
Always.
her attention.
What is it?
Serafina and the Black Cloak.
Did you see the book recommendations that someone put in the chat?
Mm-mm.
Oh, is it for Angela to read? I'll have to go
think
back through.
I think so.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I've already talked about Brandon Sanders.
she's a conundrum because she's such a high reader. Although we found out there's a whole section at our library for kids like her who like are very high readers, but have to watch it with the content because they're not like
Or people like me
They're not
who want to
teenagers.
read at like a decent level, but don't really want the content to be
Don't want the
like
smut.
difficult.
they don't want the
I just
smut in
want
the
to be
book.
able to like, I don't want the stressful, like real life stuff or even, anything gory or too emotionally.
Damaging.
Yeah, I want to read a book and go to bed.
Does
Like,
she only
not-
like new content or
She'll
older
read
stuff
whatever.
like Harry Potter and that?
Oh, she's read all the Harry Potters except she's scared right now, so she doesn't want to finish book 7. She's halfway through. She read enough
Which
to
is
watch part
fair.
1,
That's an intense book.
and then she decided she wants me to read the rest to her. Right now we're reading has anyone read The Last Unicorn when it came
Yes.
forever ago? There's a
Yes.
sequel now called The Way Home,
Yes.
and so we have started reading that. We're about halfway through.
Did you get the movie for her to watch the movie?
Oh yeah, we have the movie.
Yeah.
They only watch the movies after they read the books, though.
Yeah, we don't watch them beforehand.
Okay.
Books are always better because the book has to
For
take
sure.
the books have to put you there.
Capture your
They have to
attention.
take you to everything. They have to make sure that you see what you need to see. Whereas a movie, you either see it or you don't know, you notice it or you don't. Whereas a book has to be descriptive, right? Like, and that's what, to me, that's what makes the books better, because they are descriptive.
Well, and you see things in your head that you don't, the movie sometimes is just disappointing because it's not what you
envision.
imagined at all.
Or
Yeah.
the details. A lot of times they will combine characters or combine things for the details, and it
Or even change characters.
it changes the story a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I always think the books are better.
I love a book.
Sometimes I don't feel like reading the book though, so I just go for the movie and
There's a few exceptions to where I think that the book is better than the movie is better than the book, but that's not common.
Right.
Like 9 Perfect Strangers, the book was so much better.
I haven't read or seen that.
It's got Nicole Kidman in it,
Okay.
and they like originally follow it, but then like the big reveal happens too soon and they kind of change major parts of it.
I read
So
the
it's
book,
like-
I don't think I've seen the movie.
It's really well, it's a mini series on some streaming channel. But I remember I was listening to it on my way down to some show, I think QuiltCon, when I was driving solo, like a long way. And these people end up at like this health retreat, and they all have different reasons why they're there. And I'm reading this and I'm like, normally I have like, gas station food, like beef jerky, things that I can just like grab and eat and drive a long way with. And so I'm like eating this type of my normal stuff. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna see what the healthiest thing I can find at the gas station is. So I'm like getting really healthy stuff. And then there's this huge twist that you do not see coming. And I'm like, well, there goes any motivation I had, because this is not what this book is about. Nobody is here to really get healthy. So I will not tell you what the twist is, but I will tell you that not see it coming.
I'm seeing if it's on Libby right now.
But it's good. I highly recommend it.
Do you guys mind if I'm gonna go for a few minutes upstairs, because my son is definitely awake. I hear him up there humming. That's
Great.
his like little tick. So he is clearly like not asleep. What I don't hear is dad yelling at my son. So I'm pretty sure dad is asleep.
Don't you love that?
Dad is asleep. The girls are asleep, and that boy is wide awake waiting for me. And if I'm not careful, he will come down here and like stand outside the door, and then I'll open it, and it'll be the scariest thing. It'll be.
I kind of want to see the jump scare.
Oh my gosh. It's so bad. He's done that a couple times down here, and he's just like, oh, I just couldn't sleep. And I'm like, oh my God.
My mother did that to me the night before the cruise. Like I was finishing my cruise sample.
Oh yeah, you were so spooked out.
I didn't sleep that night. I had been up for something like 40 some hours by the time I finally went to sleep. And I had a hard time falling asleep when I finally did. And so I'm like down here, I've got my headphones on listening to a book to keep me self-alert. And up my mom comes down the stairs at like 3 a.m. like, why are you still working on this? I'm like, I would not have procrastinated on this if I had time to actually do it beforehand. Like, this is just my life. But the amount of random fabric I have in here, not all of it is my doing. Like Free Spirit sent me some stuff as like a thank you, but it's cool stuff, but it's all like very random bits that I have to find a home for. I should not be complaining about Free Spirit randomly sending me fabric. I know there are people who would be like, what? That's so cool.
I would love that.
I'll take it.
But I also would not have a spot for it either.
I know, it's like too much down here right now.
I try to keep my current project list to a minimum and not work on like 16 different projects, because I always save all of my scraps except for like the teensiest, tiniest ones when I'm working on a project in case I might need it for something. And so I have these random piles of scraps everywhere just in case I might need it. But then once the project is done, then I can toss the things that are too small or keep the bigger scraps in my scrap bin.
I used to throw away my scraps, and in the last couple months, I've been keeping them. And by scraps, I mean, like small things, not like fat quarters. I don't consider fat quarter a scrap, but maybe something that's, if I had even a 5x5 inch, I would consider that a scrap or whatever. But yeah, my scraps have piled up pretty fast. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't imagine if I had been keeping them for years. But with the collage quilting, having those scraps gives you more variety, and you can use those tiniest of pieces in the collaging. So I have that. And then also I'm wanting to do a string Halloween quilt, and since I'm working on all these Halloween quilts with all the Halloween fabrics, of course, you know, you can have a 1 inch or even a 3/4 inch strip of fabric and it'll be fine in the string quilt. So I have those. And then one of the gals on YouTube, Chris, she did a video of I think she called it like micro strings, where literally those little slivers that are only like 1/4 of an inch, she kept, and she made like a micro string, like art quilt for the wall, you know, just a little one or whatever, and stitch them down. And I thought that was pretty cool. So now I've started to save those little strings as well and put them in this old what is that, like, you know, you get nuts in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Cool.
I have all the little micro strings in there for that, because I thought that would be, I think that would be really cute to do something like that, like maybe like a mug rug kind of size where it's something usable.
My
Thought that
brain
might be-
cannot handle that small scrap storage.
I don't know that
I
I would do it all
finally,
the time. I don't think I could do
I
it all the
finally
time.
started doing, yeah, the crumb piecing. So I'm starting to use my tiny little scraps. And then, but I ended up having to go through like my fat quarter stash and actually like tear off some pieces. But we had Natalie Doan last month, and the workshop that she presented was crumb piecing in Carpenter Square. There's a YouTube video on that. So it's just I think 3 strips through the quilt that are actually crumb piece patches. So I'm like, okay, well, it was on my agenda, on my to-do for like a long time, but for some reason I just didn't have the mentality to do it. So yeah, I started crumb piecing, and it's like really super scrappy crumbing, and it's so fun. It's like I don't have to think. I just sit there and just feed little bits and pieces and
Yeah.
cut them just at different angles, and I don't know. It's a blast. I love scrap quilting.
Donna, have you worked with any of the micro scraps or super small scraps on any of your projects?
I keep a lot of stuff, mainly my small pieces that are like small. I just keep them in a big bag for like the Laura Heine quilts and things like that for that kind of applique. Yeah.
The college collage.
But then I keep like half square triangles that I cut out, like I call them stitch and flip blocks. I really hate them, but now I'm starting to use the what you call it, that ruler that I told y'all about, right? So you don't have to mark your stitch and flip blocks at all. It's
The stripology.
It's called Simple Folded Ruler. It's
Oh,
by Doug Lecco.
okay.
So it looks like this. But so I'm using this, and you don't have to mark any stitch and flips. You put, so let's say you have a 3-inch square and you're putting let's just say 1.5 inch square up there, right? You're going to put them right sides together. Yet that 1.5 inch is going to be your flipped corner, right? And then you lay this on that square and you trim that, you just cut it off. You cut that top off, and this allows for that 1/4 inch that you're going to sew, and you just sew that and then press your corner out.
So is it like an add a quarter ruler?
No, it's like this.
Okay.
So you would put, let me see if I can do it really quick for you. It's what I'm talking about, so you know what I'm doing. But it's super easy. I love it, right? I absolutely love it. All right, let me cut this to a little square, and I'll put it on this other one so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I got to get some contrast here. So I'm going to just use this one. So let's say this is the square and this is the one that I'm going to add for the corner, right? So you just lay it up there, your right sides together. So now, you know, usually you draw a line, right? So you could stitch and flip. You take this ruler, let me turn it around to me first, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this ends up being like about a 2-inch or whatever. So I line up the bottom line. There's a solid line here, and I line it up with the bottom of this square that I'm going to, is my stitch and flip piece. And then I cut this off. So all this goes away. And now there's the 1/4 inch is here. You stitch that. So this would be gone, right? That's what you'd be looking at. You would stitch that and then flip it out, and it would finish your corner. And there you
So
would.
you're sewing it before
No.
you cut it off?
You're cutting it off, then you're
Okay.
stitching it. So it looks like a AccuQuilt pieces is what it looks like, right? Because it's got your blunt pieces here. You have no sharp points on it. Yeah, you could do it with that.
Okay, will this work with it, Donna? Does it? I don't know if you can see. I
can see that. The only thing is that you will not have, depending on your size, you will have,
I don't know,
you would still have dog ears to trim off. That would be it.
Well, there's that one.
Yes, you're right. So what you would do, just take, let's say that you had a 3-inch square. You would lay your 3-inch square, the bottom of it, on a 3-inch line and lay that across, and you would trim the rest off. Well, I don't know, because that doesn't show. Does that have the 1/4 inch? See, this has
If you marked a 1/2 inch out, you would be.
Are you talking about right here?
Hang on, let me see. Don't move your finger. Just hold it still. Yeah, you would want that. You would want that part at the face towards the corner you're trimming off, because you have to keep that 1/4 inch line to stitch on.
Whoops.
So so really you could just take your square, and instead of marking from corner to corner, you would move up a 1/4 inch and trim it off. That's all it is. Right? That way, when you trim it off, you have your 1/4 inch seam to sew on that's on your point to point.
A couple months ago, I bought, there was a different ruler I was looking at on eBay, and it was in a bundle of like 4 rulers, and this was one of them. It came with it, and it's called Easy Angle.
Yes, I have those.
You have it? So
yes,
I haven't used it yet. I just pulled it out because remember that spider, that Halloween spider quilt I showed you guys, the spider web quilt. So I figured out, I've been making a pattern for it to figure it out, and I'm going to do it with this triangle because it's like the biggest triangle I have. The other one is super tiny, and I'm like, I don't want my spider webs to be so small. So I had just pulled it out for that, but I didn't actually know what that easy angle was for. What do you use it for?
I bet there are, there's videos for how to use it too.
For the easy angle?
Yeah.
It's Easy Angle by Sharon Holtgren.
Yeah, I have those. I have a couple of those different ones. Hang on just a second. I've also
cut all my corners off too, but I just use a regular, like I'll line up a 1/4 inch right on the seam and cut. So if you wanted to then go sew it later, you could, and they would all be the same size. So I'm a big proponent of like tools are great, but if you're not someone who wants to have all the tools, here's ways to work around it.
Yeah.
Right.
I like having all the tools. I love
There's lots of ways to use different ones. You don't have to use it just for what you got it for. It can be used for other stuff. But yeah, I have, these were given, these came from a lady. So this one here goes up to 4.5. Here's a 6.5, but it's the same thing. And then this is called an easy rule. It's also by her.
Oh.
but it's for, you know, it's got your 45 angles, and it's got all these measurements, and I have no idea like what all you can do with this ruler. I just, like I said, they were in some stuff that was given to me, and but there's like the strip tube rulers. Those are very cool for those kind of quilts. Yeah, I don't know, I got all kinds of stuff. I got one that's called strippers, that are the, what are they,
Tease, huh?
Marty Mitchell
Tease ruler.
rulers.
I have some Marty Mitchell stuff too.
Yeah.
Although I don't love some of mine, I end up using my AccuQuilt, but if I really care, honestly, just doing it the regular way.
Well, I feel like I would use an AccuQuilt too if I had one.
I like my AccuQuilt. We
Yeah,
always get back to that, but I
have-
really do like mine.
I convert all my block of the months to AccuQuilt.
I think that's
I
smart.
used to cut them all. They just all, yeah, I have all the cubes and whatever. Oh, and I finished my crazy kite quilt.
Oh, cool.
Let me see if I can show. I don't know if I can show it to you or not, because I don't know if I can get back far enough. And what was funny, I have a group on Facebook, and the writer of this pattern commented on it and said, be sure and send me a picture when you get through. But she made the pattern for AccuQuilt. So I thought that was
really?
cool.
That's cool.
She got to see it after I got it done.
And so all your pieces you cut on the AccuQuilt.
Every bit. Yes.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I saw your picture.
Oh, wow.
Book. It was amazing.
That is
That's really pretty.
beautiful.
It's a pretty big one. It's a 83 by 83, but I had a lot of fun. But it's a UFO. I started it 3 years ago at a quilt retreat in St. Simons, Georgia.
Mhm.
And I just, it kept getting put aside. And the last 2 months, I have tried really hard to work, keeping up my block of the months, but finishing UFOs. I'm trying to get all my UFOs done.
How many
me too.
UFOs do you have done so far?
1, 2, 3, like 3.5. But my goal is that I have to finish 3 quilts before I can start a new project. Right. And that's kind of self-defeating also. It's like, really, I don't need to be starting, right? Because I still have UFOs, but it's keeping me reined in a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, it gives you some gratification.
I just love variety, and I sew on this, that, and another. And then I sewed, there was a class. Because I've done ruler work and free motion quilting on my domestic. However, I have not on my long arm. So I made a quilt top. I just have to add the borders to it that's specific just to learn that. Just to learn. It's sitting here right behind my chair. But it was like a bunch of 9 patches, and then it has solid squares at the bottom of it. But I've just got to add the borders on now. But it's just 9 patches.
It's cute.
And then the squares at the bottom. But it's just for, to work.
Yeah.
Practice.
One of my favorite quilts I use upstairs all the time was a sampler of things that I did on my long arm just to figure them out. But it turned out really cute. So we love it.
Yeah.
Used all the time.
Yeah, this will probably, it's not really a bed quilt or anything, but I thought, well, it could be a wall hanging, if it turns out cute. I don't care. But yeah, I was glad to get this one finished. And I had ordered a long time ago. I like my solids and my blacks like this. I ordered by the bolt. Well, I had ordered another bolt of black fabric, but it wasn't Riley Blake black. Well, it didn't match, and I needed a little bit more for these borders. So then I went on to my checker account and ordered my Riley Blake black and got another bolt of it so I could finish it, because I thought that I had cut the borders also when I cut the whole thing out, and I didn't. It's like, okay. And I use black in a lot of stuff because I like it.
So
I like to
Donna,
use black too.
But then I end up with dog hair all over it.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
good night.
But I don't
I'm
have
getting
dog.
sleepy and I got to get up early in the morning. So it was
that's
nice hanging with
okay.
you
I'm
guys.
getting really tired too, honestly.
Yeah, I just don't. I my inside dog doesn't shed. That's all the rule. I have outside dogs, but
so Donna,
Well,
I have a
so-
question for
We
you.
can call it quits at 11:30 tonight. How about that?
Okay, we're gonna call
What
it
did you say?
11:30. But good night to Donna.
Good night.
what did you say, Gwendolyn?
So I have a question for you.
Not to Donna. To
So,
Donna.
Dawn went to bed. Okay. So with your works in progress or your what do you call them? Your
UFOs.
your UFOs, your unfinished quilts. Do you? Because I've seen some people like in my brain, the first that comes to mind is Karen Brown. No, was it Karen Brown? I think it was her who talked about when if she has a UFO, like sometimes she's just not interested in finishing it and she just makes the decision that, no, move on. I think it was her. Do you ever do that or do you finish every single one? I'm just curious where, like, how you go, even if it doesn't make you happy, even if you're not enjoying it anymore, or if it's like out of your style or whatever. Do you continue to work on it and finish it? Or do you just be like, no, I'm going to pass this on to somebody else or I'm going to cut it up for scraps? What's your process?
Here's my thing on that. Whenever I choose a project, right, that I want to do, in the like 8 years that I've been quilting, I don't have anything that I no longer want to do or keep or whatever. Like I don't feel like I've grown out of it. And so I put I just write on a sheet of paper. I have 12, right? These 12, and I just kind of go down through the list and I work on that till I get it finished. And sometimes I will swap one of those out. Maybe I still am not ready to, maybe I have one that's now I've thought about it. I want to move it up in the queue. So that's kind of how I do it. I just keep a queue of 12 and I'll take one of those out that, like this one right here, I just brought upstairs. It's called, it was a strip club from 2023. It's from Border Creek Station. And it's a log cabinish, very log cabinish quilt project. It takes forever, like to do like month 1 or month 2 or whatever. But I brought it up here because I won the fabrics. They just, they have my name all over them, right? So I've moved it up in the queue. I want it next to work on. So now that I've finished the crazy kite, this one is coming up next. And then I'm, like I said, I'm trying to keep my block of the months. I've got, and I've decided that I'm doing my best not to sign up for more block of the months. I really love the cotton cuts, but I'm going to not do them. For me, I really do like bigger quilts.
Yeah.
And the cotton cuts, they're like 72 by 72.
Yeah.
Yes, I can add to that and make it bigger and stuff, but it's like, I'd have to buy different, I'd have to, probably have the fabric, right? And then that means paying full price for the fabrics and stuff. And it's like, no,
Yeah, I passed on.
I just have too much
cuts as well. I passed on it. Well, I did like the last 4. So I kind of feel like they all are a similar style, and I'm
they
are
different. Yeah, I think so too. Yes, but I always love the fabrics that I've always liked the fabrics that I've chosen, all of that, and I like supporting that company because of how they hire their people. The people use. But I just have, there's a point where, it's like, I know that I am not going to finish all the stuff that I already have and that I've purchased. And so I'm trying to not buy more. I'm very,
That's the hard part. I think that's why
it is the hardest, right?
Ran into trouble because
you see
some people who love to quilt, love to sew, and we've bought the things that we love, and there's still more things that we love, but like I have so much here too that I've never gotten to, and I didn't even really collect them.
Yeah,
when I
me and my
four.
next 3 generations would not sew up what I have. Like I can visually look at one shelf right now that easily has 35 projects on it. Right? 35, 40 probably if I counted. You know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 on that one shelf, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves.
Yeah.
There's 30, easily 35. There's probably more there because some of them are paper piece patterns and they're just the papers. So there's 5 or 6 right there on one little spot. And then I've got stuff out beside that. Right. So yeah, I have I have no need for anything, like anything. I have all the thread I
At
need.
this point, it's the want.
It is. And I have to say, you know, I know that I was going to some of the shop hops and there would be like 3 or 4 around me a year or whatever. And I quit going to shop hops because I'd go to shop hops and then I would see stuff. Or I would say, I'm going to go to the shop hop, but I'm not buying anything. And I had to, and then once I made that decision before I went, I was able to do that. But at the same time, it's like, well, they're doing these shop hops. They're trying to get people in here to sell stuff. And I'm just coming in and get my free fat quarter or whatever it is, my pattern, and I'm leaving. Right. So there's that.
Felt
but
guilty, yeah.
yeah. So I don't need, and then, you know, I have my own, wholesale account, right? So then that's a temptation, right? To look at that and say, oh, you know, Lori Holt has a new fabric line coming out. Well, I ordered a yard of everything she has coming out, 50 something, you know, different
Yeah, when
yards.
she comes out with stuff,
Yes. And then I want to make all this stuff, right? And you could stay totally busy with just doing her stuff and nothing else, right? So yeah, it's just at a point where I need to say, Joe, you need to take this debit card and the banking, the checks and everything, and do not give me but like $100 a month that I can spend, right? And then that would probably be too much. You know what I'm saying? It's like I do not need anything. So,
right? It would just be for maintenance and getting new needles and.
Well, I know a couple years back I did really well for the full year. I made a challenge for myself that I could not buy anything unless I had to have it to finish or complete a UFO. So for that year, I didn't buy anything. But I've gone away from that again. And so it's like I really need to set those boundaries again, because that it's easier to make the choices not to purchase if you've made that decision beforehand. Like, you know, give yourself goals, you know, even if you just do for this month, I will not buy or shop, or, you know what I'm saying? And just do it for a month or whatever. But I really have to do that because, like I said, I have more than enough stuff here. I mean, I can see physically 100 projects from where I'm sitting. 100. They're under my long arm.
It's kind of like
under my
deciding
table. Yeah.
It's kind of like deciding before you go to a restaurant that you're going to look at the menu and you're going to like tame yourself at the restaurant. All right, I'm going to choose something healthier, or I'm going to, you know, whatever it is. It makes it a lot less tempting when you get there, even though that's incredibly tempting when you get to a good restaurant and you're like, nope, right. I'm choosing the wedge salad.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And here's what I'll do too. When I go to a restaurant, I tell them I want the to-go box when they bring my food. I cut my plate in half, right? I take half of everything that's on my plate and I put it in a to-go box and I put that away. I'm not tempted to eat the whole plate. That way I can take it home and eat it later, right? I'm not eating a full plate of food because our serving size here in America is like 4 times what everybody else is.
Oh, yeah. But you know, it's just making that mental, like you've made the decision beforehand. It doesn't mean you don't always break the decision, but at least if you made the decision beforehand, it is a little easier.
Well, and that's kind of how in our church we kind of raise children to make the decision that they're not going to smoke or they're not going to drink. That way, when that opportunity comes up and someone offers them a cigarette or a drink or whatever, they've already made the decision they're not going to. And
That's right.
it's very easy for them to then say, no, thank you.
Exactly.
You know, just it. And if you wait to make that decision until someone asks you, you're very likely to feel peer pressure and smoke or drink or have sex or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of my thought on this. Make the decision beforehand. If I'm going to go, like today, I went and picked up a block of the month from a quilt shop after I had my book club. And I told myself, I'm just going to go in. Like, I am going to look, but I'm not going to buy anything. And I'm just going to pick up my block of the month. And that's what I did. There was stuff in there I could have bought. They have new stuff all the time. You know what I'm
If I
saying?
said I wasn't going to buy anything for a year, I would have to make the caveat, except for Tula's line every single time. And I would have to make a caveat that it has to be at least a half yard of
For
everything.
me, like, I haven't been buying as much, obviously, in the last year because things changed a lot for us. So when I do buy, I've changed kind of the way I do it. So instead of buying every piece of Tula's, I buy the ones that I really love because I have so much Tula. I do not, I have something
I
I
have
can
a corner. I have a corner that's
Yeah.
a Tula corner. Exactly. I
I
have
cabinet.
I have a Lori Holt corner that's not really even a corner. It's more
Yeah.
like an L shape here in this room.
But
right? It's everywhere.
before, what I would do is I would buy a fat quarter bundle, and now I'll buy like 2 or 3 yards of a print that I really like.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I want to fussy cut it and it's a really big print.
Mhm.
And then the other thing that I've noticed is I don't do a good job of buying the neutrals. And so
I don't.
anything that could be a background and has a tiny print and like a white, pure white back, I have started getting, 4 yards of that. So that way I've got something to be a background for
I
like,
bought some bolts of like,
yeah.
very low volume, but
Yeah.
like very niche stuff
Mhm.
because I know I can't just use white.
Like I did that, a couple of Tulas, I did that for some Allison glass.
Well, see, and like for my
Just so
background,
that I have it.
I'll just do Marshall Dry Good and I'll buy a whole bolt at $2.79 or $3.79 a yard. I'll just buy the whole bolt, right? So I have those so that I have creams and tone on tones and tans for backgrounds and stuff.
Stephanie, I'm like you. I didn't have like hardly any low volume in my stash. And at the beginning of the year, this year, I had signed up for the fat quarter low volume every month. And so now I have 10 months of low volumes. And what I liked about not necessarily them, I mean, I like them and everything and the stuff, but what I liked about the idea of somebody else picking them out for me is because I don't like low volume. And so when I go to the low volume aisle or to the whites or the creams or wherever it is on the shelf, I usually look at them and go, "Ugh, I don't want to."
Right, they don't speak to you, so you're not going to buy them.
So I don't want to buy them. So
What
having
I do
somebody
is I
else
take
pick those out for me, and they've chosen them for me, and then I get the 15 every month, and then I'm like, oh wow, these are pretty cute. Look at this. So I could use
And
this
together, right, as an array.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've been
and
just
they're not
doing the
necessarily a
designers I
collection
really
either.
like
Yeah,
and getting their like background for the collection.
yeah.
And it's been working for me.
That's good.
Guys, I gotta go. I am like
It is.
falling
It's
asleep at
just
the wheel here.
11:30. And I gotta clean the bathroom first thing tomorrow.
No,
So-
that's fun.
I know I should have done it today.
Be well
My
rested
husband
for
was
that.
like, I thought you were gonna clean today. I'm like, I did clean today. You look like
Y'all have a good sewing week, and we will see you. Maybe see
Yeah.
you on the flip flop. I'll be on vacation, so I don't know if I'll be in.
Okay.
well, enjoy.
All
Hopefully,
right.
you guys got a lot of cleaning done tonight.
I
I got some maintenance done.
I can see most of my long
Oh, I can too.
Yeah,
You
That's
do.
just That's just a rabbit hole I haven't
happened.
decided to jump into yet. That cleaning and organizing.
I don't know that I've
Yeah.
ever seen your long arm look so empty.
I know. I have these ones though are like wall hangings, and I want to get like some archival boxes for those because they're like the fanciest thing I've ever made. So
That's fair.
I'm gonna need to research. Well, actually, I know what I need, and I just need to order it. But
Can you
we'll get
roll?
there.
Can you roll them up and put
I'm-
them in like the big long? What is
The
it?
tubes?
Landscaping
Yeah,
paper?
it'll be on a tube, but there's like a shorter box. It's like a 36-inch wide box, which is
Yeah.
perfect for what I have.
Yeah.
And it fits. It'll fit 4 of them. So, which is there will be 4 of the collection when it's all done. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I need to
Do it.
stuff first. So,
Yeah.
but anyway.
All right.
All right.
everybody.
Have a good
Good
night.
night, guys. It was awesome.
Bye.